Namaste viewers, welcome to Gnana channel. Let us go to the fourth sutra of Patanjali from this Kaivalya Pada, the chapter 4th of this Kaivalya Pada. The sutra is nirmāṇa cittānya asmitā-mātrāt. Nirmāṇa cittāni asmitā-mātrāt. Let us try to understand word by word and then go to the overall meaning. Let us try to understand it. Nirmāṇa means, nirmāṇa is construction, in creation, formation, fabrication. That is nirmāṇa. Cittāni means minds, mental regions, modifications of the mind, all those things that happens in the mind. Nirmāṇa. We all imagine so a lot of things, that is nirmāṇa. Asmitā-mātrāt. That means this is asmita alone. Asmita means sense of I-ness or ego, the identity as a separate self. This is asmitā-mātrāt. This is, it's not, sorry. It is a sense of I-ness or ego, the identity as a separate self. Now, a simple translation would be the various minds, that mental patterns or identities are created solely from asmita, the sense of ego or individual identity. This is the meaning of that. But let us try to understand it more clearly. So Patanjali is saying that the divisions within the mind, that is different roles, personalities, reactions, thoughts, so many things arise. They depend on, all arise from asmita, that is the ego, I-ness, that is what he says. So what is asmita? Asmita means I-am-ness, I, my, nannadu, like this, this ahamkara, the feeling of being a separate, separate and individual self. This is asmita. It's not the true self, it's not the purusha, it is a mental construct, a personality built from memory, experience, conditioning, things like that. So now there are multiple minds, cittāni. Actually, they are not multiple minds, they are multiple identities in the mind. There are multiple thoughts in the mind, multiple, depending upon your, just as a son, teacher, boss, dreamer, lover, so many things, spiritual seeker, I am the boss, I am the servant, all those kinds of things. I am so and so. All these things are multiple mental identities. Each identity arises because we think who we are in that moment. We start thinking that, oh, I am such and such a person. I am so. I am doing this. I am thinking like this. All these things, arise because of the thought process there. Each identity, it is based on what we think we are. Now, why does this happen? Because of identification with Prakriti. That is, I am the Purusha, I am pure, but I identify myself with the material nature, material body, material, the emotions that I have, the memories that I carry. Wherever consciousness turns outwards, the consciousness, if it is inwards, it will always be thinking of that it doesn't attach itself to the outer world. But when it turns outward, suddenly it thinks itself for the roles it plays. It thinks that it is that role that it is. So you identify with the body. So you think I am young, old, female, male, I am boss, that, this and all those things. Now, supposing if you will identify with thoughts, you will say, I am angry, I am anxious, I am happy, I am confident, I like this, I dislike this, all these kinds of things. You identify with some kind of roles. I am engineer, I am doctor, I am a daughter, I am a friend, I am wife, I am husband, all those kinds of things. So when you identify the body, when you identify with thoughts, and when you identify with roles, the things, you mistake the roles for yourself. That is how. That's what it says. But Patanjali warns through this, all these identities, through this sutra, all these identities are fabrications. They are not the real you. They are born from asmita. That is how asmita is to be understood. Asmita is based on who we think we are. That is asmita. Now, let's try to examine some of these things, some questions, some queries like, So what is this identity? What is it made of? Identity is made of memory, that is past thing, what we have done or experienced. Identity is belief also, what we are going to be or what we think is true about us. I am so and so, I am that, I am this. Like, identity is the desire, what we want to become. I want to be a great man, I want to be that. This is identity, is made up of desire. Identity is also made up of social feedback also. See, what others, call me. They call me, oh, this fellow is an idiot, this fellow is a thief, this fellow is something, this fellow is a great man, this fellow. See, all these things, identities, are social feedback. So, what makes up identity? Memory, belief, desire, and social feedback. These are the things that identity is made up of. So it's a kind of a mental image, and this mental image, it constantly keeps shifting. Identity is not fixed. We all see it changes over the life stages also. I was a small kid. Now after growing up, adult, childhood, adult, student life, that, this married life, all those things, my identity is not fixed. It keeps on changing. That is the mental stage. So now, identity is not a product of material nature. Is identity a product of material nature? Yes, it is. You cannot say it is not. It is, because asmita, asmita arises from prakriti. The ego forms when pure consciousness, that is Purusha, reflects on the mind Chitta and makes that reflection for itself. Asmita arises from Prakriti. The ego forms when pure consciousness Purusha reflects on the mind Chitta and makes that reflection for itself. That is Asmita. That is the identity. So identity is not the self. You can say it's a product of, it's a subtle, but still it is not you. It is a product of material, you can call it as a material thing, or material energy, you can call it as. Is it separate entity? It is not a separate entity. No, it is not. It's a process. This identity is not a separate entity. It's a process. It's not a fixed object. It feels real because of this habitual attention and repetition. When you keep on saying that I am so and so, I am so and so, I am so, it keeps on because of that repetition. I feel that I am that identity. That I feel that I am that. But it's a projection only on a screen. When that projection is gone, It's not there. Like a movie on a screen, When the projection is not there, he is not there. Like that it is. Where is this identity? Where is it identity? It has no real location. This identity, it's not like, here, there, in the heart, in the lungs, in the liver, in the brain. It's not there. It's in the brain, nothing. It lives in subtle mind. Sukshma Manasu, what we call it, Sukshma Manasali. It is there as a pattern. It is in the vasanas, that is the tendencies. It is in the samskaras, impressions, and chitta, mind stuff. So the subtle mind as a pattern in vasanas, all these things, it is there, identity. And it is always changing also, It's not a permanent existence. There is no permanency for this. It's only relative existence. It keeps on changing, like a rainbow or a mirage, something, it's real as an experience, but not ultimately real. It is partly temporary. It is very temporary. True existence belongs to Purusha, the seer, not the identities it observes. So now there is a doubt that what is the imagination? What is this imagination? Imagination, vikalpa, it is called as vikalpa, is the mind's power. Imagination is the power of the mind to create forms, images, concepts which are not there. Actually, they are not there present. Right in front of you, it is not there. Right here, it is not there. Right now, it is not there. You imagine that I have gone there, I am seeing this, I am living with this thing, I saw this lady, I saw that. So those kinds of things, it is imagination. It can, mind's power to create forms, images, concepts like this. So identities are imagined selves, projected by the mind and believed in because of attachment. It's a very important thing, sentence. Identities, my identities are imagined selves. I am so and so, so and so, projected by the mind and believed in because of attachment. Because I have attached to that, I believe that it is. I believe that I am attached. Because I am attached, I believe that I am that. Identities are imagined selves. Now, is the mind different than what you think or yours? On the surface, yes, different thoughts, memories, desires, experiences. On the outer self. But at the deepest level, it is not. All minds arise from the same Prakriti nature. All are governed by the same gunas, sattva, rajas, tamo guna. They reflect the same Purusha which is universal and unchanging. So, the sutra is very, very deeply introspective. So, the sutra tells the yogi, all your inner divisions, all your voices, emotions, roles are just effects of identification. As you turn your awareness inwards and recognize that you are the observer, not the actor, these identities begin to run away, begin to they dissolve, they go away. That is the practice of yoga, especially deep meditation and self-inquiry. It helps unplug this false I-ness, revealing the true eternal self. This is the message of the sutra. So now some guidance, for practicality, all we think is what is the use of all these things, See, here you have to watch your thoughts, who is thinking, notice your roles, who is behind all of them. Don't get trapped by labels. I am this, I am that. You should not get trapped. Remember, you are not your story. Your story is different. Practice being the witness to all experiences rather than the experiencer. Of course, you will be experiencing it, but you, from the consciousness level, you will be a witness to that. So, To summarize, Asmita is the false I, the ego personality. Cittāni, multiple mental identities built from Asmita. Real self is the witness, pure, silent, unchanged. Yoga's goal is to free yourself from these false identities and rest in the self. Viewers, with this explanation on this Sutra 4, I think it is Sutra 4, we conclude this episode. This was quite interesting and then quite tough to understand also. I request you to please like, share and then subscribe to my channel. Please post your comments after having gone through the video completely. Thank you, viewers.